we waited. This is our reward. Whilst the rest of the world was forced to stop, Rocket League developed, new faces came forward, new formats were brought in, and as you're going to see over the next 3 days, new challengers have stepped up. I am Shogun, joined by Yummy and Chamako. And Yummy, are you ready for this?
This is the biggest privilege of my life, and the privilege to be here in front of 13,000. And of course, the privilege to see South America Chamako performing on the big stage here for the first time. Number 3 seed, the club.
The club that feels like a Cinderella story. These guys, I mean, a lot of people were not counting them to be here. They do not get past the wildcard. Oh, and Jorius certainly was one of them. He definitely doesn't think these guys can make it out of the group stage.
You wanted to talk about the club, Jorius shut you down instantly.
Completely.
That's so big as well for Dignitas, because this is a team that didn't get a chance to perform in full in front of a crowd. Over in London, didn't make it to the crowd. There have been so many questions about Dignitas as to how they perform under pressure. This is the biggest time where that question is going to come to the forefront.
And it's the biggest name in Rocket League. Dignitas, the organization, took back-to-back World Championships. The only team to do so, now with a completely fresh roster. Apparently, Jack, Jorius have missed the crowd. They've not been able to do it in the last 2 majors or in fall, of course. Now they have the chance.
If you're talking about new rosters, you have to talk about the club. I mean, because Astromic has been changing roster throughout the whole season, and now he's here with KV1 and with Lost, which you talk about Lost a few months ago. No one would know who he was, but he's here now making his name for himself.
He's the reason they're here. He's the reason they're in the main stage and has been fighting hard in his region. And it's great to see that even under such high pressure, Lost has been able to perform.
Yeah, Lost really has had the most significant glow-up of anybody from that wildcard stage, but right now, Dignitas piling on the pressure. The club needs to get out of this particular position. This is the play that you want on it, though. KV1, who will be featured later on in some 1v1s. Right now, his team are very much up against it.
And if you want a player at the other end to be on the ball, it's going to be world champion Scrub Killer, and he's fed Jack perfectly.
Jack doesn't need much. Jack is so good, so accurate, so powerful. You give him a chance, you give him a little bit of space on the net, he's gonna take it. And now, 2-0 lead for Dignitas early on the match.
And that's the danger for Dignitas. We saw in the wild card a glow up from them from beginning to end, and it was all about confidence, finding space. If Jorius and Appjack are finding the goals, they're gonna be dangerous.
And Scrub Killer is one of those players that, as much as you almost want to disagree with him when he tells you how much of he is a World Championship player, the results speak for themselves. He's had rough league plays in the past, and then the moment he gets to, let's say, the Season 8 World Championship, it was like a whole different player taking to the field. Is that the same Scrub Killer we are going to get for the next 3 days?
You might be able to argue it. He hasn't been able to get in front of the crowd yet to show off that brilliance.
Well, so far, showing very good. The guys from Dignitas really want this because early on, I mean, we have seen on the wildcard, we have seen on the group stages that the club likes to start fast. They like to take the early games. And so far, it seems that Dignitas is the one winning this match.
And I think Dignitas won it because they were meant to be a world's contender at the very beginning of the season. A lot of people had them as the favorites of Europe, and then they fell apart. This could be their chance to get back into it. But the club, they're fighting hard in the midfield now. There hasn't been a goal for a while, and they're finding one right now. Lost!
We were talking about Lost. We were talking about this guy, specifically him, and KV1 as well. What a great pass. He's showing you the abilities, the skills he has in 1v1, and then giving it up to Lost, who makes it look easy.
Scrub, I appreciate you jumping there, pal, but yeah, stood absolutely no chance. And now with 2 minutes left, 1 goal is all the difference. That might have had to change, and it's straight in. Lost wins the challenge, 2 each. And I think I can hear Johnny Boy screaming from the backstage.
Yeah, get good at the kickoffs, right? That's Johnny right there. No one on that, no one, absolutely no one. And that ball was so slow that, I mean, you will think at this level someone will get there and save it. But, I mean, we have a tight match now.
And we see there, the 50 was what made it for Lost. And that's what he's so good at. He's not making these huge mechanical plays, but he's one of the best readers of the game. He knows where to challenge from. That gets them a goal. It's tied up. Dignitas will be sweating.
The script being followed so far. No easy matches to start us off. Is it free? Astromic gives the club the lead in a match that they were 2 goals down in.
All 3 members of the club, all 3 can step up when it really counts, and all 3 have now put them on the board.
And if you know that, you have to make those clears. You have to get the ball out of the way. Joris had the chance. I don't know if maybe he didn't have enough boost, but couldn't get it out.
So do wait to see if that ball can go away. If you're Dignitas, as much as we have been hyping up what the club were able to do to get back into this, the quality of the goals that they conceded were poor by their own standards. They need to sort that out. This is a team that held off Falcons for 4 minutes of overtime. And yet in this one, it has completely fallen apart. Just over a minute left here. Can Dignitas start putting it back together? Because you know if they end up losing this, we recycle that old question. What do Dignitas look like under pressure?
The mentality has been questioned all season for Dignitas. A loss here after being 2-0 up would be a problem. The club still looking to strike the iron, but Dignitas almost found the counter.
And Dignitas still challenging that ball, still getting very close. And there you go, Joris keeping the ball right on the blue stone. Dropkiller now taking his chance against Astromic. Lost fast, quick to that ball and was able to get the clear.
Big demo, double demo. Astromic takes his time, realizes he needs to get a bit of angle to work with, especially with Lost finally on the respawn. Solid half volley, but this is where Dignitas need the ball at the moment. Passing play to apparently Jack!
You're kidding me, Jack? That is a mistake on this level of stage that you'll be running through your head if you can't get this next goal. 18 seconds left if Dignitas want to survive.
They need to get the clear right outside now, and they have to do it now. Jack with the ball, maybe he has a chance to go with the dribble, past 1. Lost on defense, the ball, clearing the center, but Dropkiller taking his time. Joris now with the ball, going high, going for the pass to himself. Jack has a chance, rejected, still on there. Dropkiller to Joris and Lost, able to get it out of the way. The ball will touch the ground, and the club starts strong in this first match.
And you start to wonder, how? How did that go so wrong so quickly for Dignitas? They came in, got the 2 opening goals. You're looking at it thinking, all right, finally, they have a crowd buff. We didn't know whether or not they had that. And then 3 exceptionally soft goals to give up, Yummy. What do you do to bounce back from that? I want to see them talking to each other first to start off.
Well, early in that game, I felt more like the club were hanging back. They were a little bit scared. They were nervous, as you would be, of course, in your first time in this stadium. And that allowed Dignitas to spend most of the time in attack in the midfield, where they never had to panic. Once the club sped up like their game plan, Dignitas started worrying, jumping everywhere, and not being able to find the defense.
Right, but I mean, I think I know why Dignitas, allowed the goals. Maybe they were a little bit nervous, but why didn't they keep up with the offense? They were doing so good in that first minute. They were, attacking very well, getting the pass and getting the shots on net. And then all of a sudden, no more offense.
Look how cool this is, guys. Look behind us. Dickies Arena, full of Rocket League fans. If you have joined us since season 1, you've seen us go from strength to strength. If you're joining us over the last few years, you are just as deserving of enjoying this moment as everybody else. We have waited for this so long. Everybody believed that this esport could make it to this kind of level. Now can the club keep up their own level and take down the European giants?
Speaking of belief, we've got now an entire region believing in the club. I think the entire world's starting to believe in the club as well.
I do. I mean, if you're asking me, I'm here. I'm their cheerleader. I'm waiting for them to, win this really fast. I don't want to, 4-3 something. No, 4-0. That's what I want.
I really want to speak to you, Chimako, about that as well, because when South America first were introduced to the RLCS, there was a lot of, they're very entertaining to watch, but not necessarily championship contenders. Now that you've had the chance to follow them for the last few years, and they are right up there. Teams like Furia, now teams like the club who are really taking the fight to a team like Dignitas is narrowly off target. That one's going to be wide. How are you feeling about your region and how proud are you of them?
Is this a good moment? Yeah, maybe.
It's fine.
I don't know. Joris still has a good chance to attack, and Jack is looking for the pass. Maybe it's Dropkiller, but why a second touch? To answer your question, I think you know, the region had a lack of defense, and they have improved on that heavily, like a lot. Still, you know, some issues here and there, but they're looking way better. And when you have those mechanics, that eagerness to attack, to make offense happen, with a defense, then yes, I mean, you can make anything happen worldwide, I should say.
This 21-22 season, the format, all of these international lands have pushed a region like South America so far forward, especially in that defensive half, in their skill. We know that South America is a region of the future, and they could prove it now.
Well, this is maybe the first ever World Championship where... Oh! What a read!
He's buried that one. He's buried Astromic as well. What a read. And that's the first goal on the board for a while for Dignitas.
If you're gonna get very strict with Astromic, I mean, the only way that Joris could get that one was on the left. I mean, there was no way for him to go right. So Astromic, a little bit of a bad read on that play, you know, bad decision making, but still very good on Joris.
The only thing that I do want to give to Astromic on that play is that because the positioning of Joris, it actually you get shielded by the ball. The nameplate goes away. You fail to see where the car is anymore. So that's going to be my little bit of copium for him, but at the same time, you do not want to see those plays going past. You don't want to give Dignitas the impetus to get back into this series because the last game was not how they planned the start of this tournament to go for themselves. As Astromic wants to go over the top of Scrub. But Scrub Killer, one of the greatest goal line defenders we have ever seen, as we see more damage being put on the back line.
Astromic doing so much work that forward half as the pressure mounts for Dignitas. Low boost on the board. There is an opportunity, but once again, the steadfast Scrub Killer able to find the challenge and keep them out of it.
I like to see this Astromic. This is a guy that likes to push hard. Oh! That was a bump, right?
Yes! Yes, it was!
An amazing bump at the time.
Everybody say goodbye to Lost and wave at him on his way. He was off to go and see Astromic. Dignitas, another 2-goal lead. Surely it can't happen again.
It was apparently Jack who gave all the credit to Lost in the pre-game interview. It was apparently Jack who had all that respect, and it was apparently Jack who took him out of the game.
I mean, if you respect him, you gotta take him out of the way, right? I mean, you don't want him near that goal line and make the save.
Especially with Lost's ability to not only get those saves, but transition the ball immediately afterwards. One of the best that we have seen. Not removing himself from the play. Dignitas having a bit of a moment on their own backboard.
Dignitas moment.
It was fine. They didn't concede off it. They got that one out of the way. Is now Lost. Oh, that was so close. Scrub Killer narrowly avoids being wiped out. This is a good opportunity for the club. They're looking to press forward until Dignitas escape.
And Scrub just being very aware of the surroundings. You know, he was going for the ball, but also avoiding the bump, doing everything right, and that shows you. I mean, this guy is here for real. You can say whatever you want about Scrub, but his skills talk by himself.
Jorius has found a lot of confidence here. We're seeing him go for those solo plays that made him a devil. Rise talked about it on the desk. Throughout Wildcard, he was the one that made a difference for Dignitas. And trying to get scared is apparently Jack looking for the goal. Has Jorius in support. They won't find it with 1 minute left.
Yeah, I like the play. Oh, wait a minute. Lost. This is what they were trying to demo him earlier on. I like the play if Dignitas were either looking to get back into the game or if it was 0-0. But hey, you've got the lead. Don't take unnecessary risk as Lost called into action on the goal line. Dignitas back to Jack, who is again leaving it. Dignitas have really taken the sting out of this game.
Really safe plays.
You want to see it, especially after the way the last game ended. Put that to the back of your mind. Get yourself the first game win.
Much more control Dignitas now. I mean, in defense is doing so much better. And in offense, I mean, just as good as they did in the previous match, but that's what they need. I mean, just better defense, don't get crazy, don't allow the net to be open. That's it.
There it is, number 3. Apparently Jack provided the other 2. Gets himself on the board for this one. And a much better idea as to how to play the time and how to play the scoreline. This is a team, Yummy, that goal line defense, all 3 of them, you would bet on any of them to win in those kind of situations. Yet they seem to be a team on occasion that don't want to play into that.
It is very odd to see the club maybe need a bit more midfield presence. Dignitas with all their 1v1 skill. What I like from that goal is apparently Jack getting them through, getting Dignitas this game win. He's the player, apparently Jack, who often comes off a series and says, oh, I didn't play great. He'll always take the blame for his team, but I always feel like when he says that, he's one of the best players on the pitch. It's that perfectionism.
It is. I mean, we were talking about it on the desk, you know, like how he comes here very early, how he wants to make himself better every single time. And whenever his team loses, he takes it personally. Like, it's on him. And he wants to make everyone better on the team. And that's, I mean, it shows right now on this one. I mean, he didn't take all the goals, but if we're going by score itself, you know, he's up there, you know, carrying the team, basically.
Also got to look as to the potential knock-on effects of this, because 3 of these players will be on later on today for our 1v1 show match. Ooh, I cannot wait for that. That is going to be absolutely exceptional. But for the time being, it is tournament lives on the line. Win this, and you move on to the next round. Lose it, and it is the end of your season. 10 hard months of work gone.
And when it comes to both these teams, it has been a struggle. Dignitas obviously struggling throughout the season as it went on, but the club, every single time things go well, they get a player stolen from them. Yan first stolen from them, Math stolen from them, had to rebuild their roster over and over.
They have, and one thing that they also get stolen is those first wins, those first matches. They do get to do very well in the first or the second match, but afterwards, it seems like other teams get used to their playstyle and adjust. And one thing that we haven't seen from the club is adjustment. They haven't been able to adjust very well as the series go along.
They're going to have the chance to do it. That's a brilliant shot. A little bit too good, though, off the post. Try to just tuck that in behind the goalkeeper. Now Scrub, his own opportunity. He's going to go for the bump. No, his Stromic narrowly avoids, and Lost was the target man on the middle side of the field. And that is something that I would like to see from the club. Been very good behind the ball, but as Dignitas kind of found out against Falcons, there's only so much you can do when you're behind the ball. Leaving Lost in that midfield, I like as just a new option.
And with them stacking the net so much here, they are opening themselves up to the bumps coming out from Dignitas. Dignitas playing this incredibly smart, playing to their strengths of solo play with a bit of a backup, and that's giving them a few of these early opportunities.
And now, Lost with the chance, he's going for the backboard, and Scrum is not able to take it away, but Jarius let the ball dance on top of his guard and was able to get the clear. Jarius again, trying to get their pass, but there's no one over there, so he's forced to go to the carry. Astromic getting the clear, now Jack on defense. He's gonna take it away, maybe with the solo play. His teammates were not there to help him, so he was forced, you know, to go for the 50.
Massive swing game here. Chance to really take control of the series. Especially with the way the last game was sort of dominated by Dignitas. Really made their opportunities count as get the pass to Lost! Oh, off the post again!
The thinnest of margins. But that means that they are playing for those thinnest of margins. They respect the Dignitas defense, that they are trying everything they can to pass them. Haven't been able to do it just yet, but they will have their opportunity as Lost gets intercepted again.
Keep looking for those passes, but so far Dignitas is on top of the passes every single time, not allowing for easy shots from the club.
Big clears coming out, the back and forth as well. But it's apparently Jack with boost with a flip reset. No! It's saved out by Astromic. Dignitas don't want to stop here, and there's a bounce, a free one. It's going to be Lost to take it the other way.
The player that they needed in that position is the player that provided Jarius off the backboard. Oh, the bounce didn't agree. Now Scrub Killer's opportunity. Astromic pre-jumps. Knew we had to get there in time, and you can already see KV1 is now loitering on that backboard because they do not want that option to stay available.
That's the area they've had to defend against this Dignitas roster.
Exactly what I was thinking. I mean, we all three were thinking the same thing. They need to defend that backboard, and they were not doing it so far.
My question to you would be, has Dignitas infielded? Even once? None that I can recall.
Yeah, I think one in the first match, maybe. One goal from apparently Jack. But that's it. I mean, they haven't done so much. So yeah, you're right. I mean, better defend that backboard than the infield.
Obviously, that then provides the typical Rocket League thing of, hey, you're now providing the backboard defense as we get Jarius. He's got rid of one. But he was still up against KV1. But when you do start to defend that backboard, then the infield pass becomes more available. There's just never the right answer. There's no such thing as perfect positioning. It's just perfect prediction.
The Dignitas are one of the best passing teams around in Europe as well when they're on form. We've seen already the club send a couple of members up to the backboard.
Yes, and oh!
See if they can recognize that Scrub Killer has a little gap. Can't find the opening.
still, you can say whatever about the defense right now, but it is the best defense we have seen in all the series. We have a 0-0 score with 120 left to go.
You were talking earlier on, Chimako, about how South America's defense had to catch up. There's ever been a game to prove it. This is the one! Hold off the pressure and wait for that golden opportunity.
No boost left on Dignitas.
A little bit late from Scrub, and a hard shot. I mean, he was rotating back, he was trying to get on net, and he wasn't expecting the shot right away. So it took him by surprise, and now the club has the chance to win this match.
What a turnaround from South America as well. From a team that doesn't have a great defense to now being a team that has the club who have won consistently throughout this event off their defense.
The club have proven themselves resolute. One of the strongest mentals that came to this World Championships, had difficulties against FaZe, still played their hearts out. Now they look to try and push themselves into our top 8. Good challenge, Scrub Killer. Very brave to let that one bounce down. Not only recognizing that it wasn't on target, but also that nobody else was going to get there before him. But the club putting that pressure on, 30 seconds left. Apparently Jack, good stop, now it goes up the wall. Can't get the read on it, and Joris and Scrub are facing the wrong way. Here comes the Stromic. Backboard, has he got the second? No, they haven't, and Joris gets rid of it.
Running Jack trying to get it out of the way in the open. No, there's no open net. Astromic is back there. I mean, these guys are serious in their defense so far. They're not gonna let it happen. They're not gonna let them tie the game so easily. The guys from Dignitas trying to get the clear, trying to get it all the way, but it's so hard so far. Lost with the clear to the side. Scrub against the wall, and excellent clear by Lost. The club now 2-1 lead in the series.
The club on top. Such a smart play at the end. It's 30 seconds remaining. That's when the hands start shaking, but the brains keep on ticking. Astromic was touching it to the side. KV1 finding bumps, shutting Dignitas down.
For a team that have been criticized for not being able to adapt on the fly, the club certainly adapted in that game. New strategies, really patient defense. They didn't just launch anybody for the sake of launching them. Instead, wait for their opportunity, and if there is a team that does make the occasional mistake and give you a freebie, it is Dignitas, so why not wait for that?
I feel a little bit attacked with that one, you know? They don't make adjustments, and they're right there, right? Well, they are also a counter-attacking team. They like to counter-attack, they like to wait. So in this case, they said, okay, let's put everything on defense. And then at the end, right when they had the first goal, they were attacking very, very good. They were very aggressive. They were on the orange side of the field. All three of them, which is something that we don't see very often.
Well, what I really liked about that as well is that you see the way that they were attacking. It was almost a half attack most of the time, taking shots and making sure that they were always landing on the floor. There was nothing where they would go into the air, have to recover on the opponent's backboard. It was always, hey, Dig, you have to worry about this, but I'm going to prioritize my recovery and stealing your boost. You can do the rest of the work. See if you can manage it. Now for Dignitas, let's see what they've got. We're trading games back and forth.
We head into game 4, and Dignitas have to dig deep, find that space. They want to take that, they get that first goal in a while.
And this is the place where the club usually stops. You know, they get 2 wins against a very top opponent, and then they don't get any other. So this is the moment. They have to prove themselves on this match.
Here we go. Game 4 underway. Goal 1 in the net.
Jack just doesn't miss. He's reading the play. He sees KV1 completely taken out, and he knows to go for the shot. Lost on the Stromic. Thought that ball was going forward.
Well, we gotta say, Scrub had a very good bump in there. I think KV1 was on top of the ball, and then when he got the bump, no more, and an easy shot for Jack.
And again, it's those early goals that seem to be the difference makers. We've got ourselves 30 seconds to this one. Dignitas getting the lead. Neither team able to sustain game-to-game momentum. KV1 clears. Apparently Jack wiped off the field. Scrub Killer takes over from that position. To Lost with KV1 in support. But if there's anything that you do have to do against the club, it is pre-jump, and pre-jump as quickly as you possibly can, or you're getting wiped off the field.
I was seeing this from the solo players from the club, how much ones practice we've got from all 3 members of Dignitas. They've been able to shut them down, but can they shut another one? Multiple members of the club hanging around, but they did send all 3 forward, so it should give a small respite here for Dig.
You see how KV1 was out of position, but that's out of respect because he was expecting Dignitas to actually make a contact with the ball and get it out of the way. So, you know, we can criticize that a little bit, but again, these guys are not taking Dignitas lightly.
At this sort of level, when you get these demos as a Stromic, looks for Scrub Killer! Put him in a position! What each?
I put him on a pedestal. Astromic with the bump. So smart over Scrub Killer. That is a play that's very difficult to execute when you're nervous, when you're on that big stage, to abandon the ball, go for the bump, and put yourself out of position.
Right, and Lost, he had a lot of respect again for Scrub, because Scrub didn't fall for the bump. He didn't get the bump at any moment, but still, Lost was very careful watching where he was landing to, so he could take it out of the way and get the goal.
Those of you that may be new, wondering why we're going on about this, it has been the off-ball plays that have been such difference makers. Play the ball once, land, steal boost, look for goalkeeper, rotate back. Keep doing that, recycle the plays, and get yourself another lead. Dignitas looking to do exactly that. Off the backboard, Joris, no angle to really play from, so instead, just get one hit, get Scrub Killer and Jack back into position, maybe even wipe out another player on your way back into the rotation.
We haven't seen that many demos from Dignitas, and I was wondering...
They're trying. That's the weird bit. They are trying their hardest. They're just not happening.
There you go. It's technical corrected. That's it.
Well, we also are missing those passing plays just for now, and we're seeing it's because they are pushing just one person forward, keeping two players back and hoping that the kind of individual brilliance will come out. Hopefully that does begin, or maybe we'll see the change up from Dignitas, but for now, it is allowing them to play a safer game, one where they're not going to get counterattacked so easily.
They definitely learn. I mean, they are making the adjustments. And the previous match, that game number 3, was only one goal game, and that's it. So they know the value of those goals in this series, and they're really to KV1 again, another chance maybe. They're keeping it there.
I think it's the 4th time now we've seen the woodwork come into play. It is not exactly choosing sides.
I love Lost, by the way. The fact that he goes for that as third man, the confidence he has, the ice in his veins.
Just another bump.
More chances as well, but bump coming up from Jorias. He almost found the second.
Come the big play of this. How well can the club avoid Dignitas' bumping plays? Because, as you mentioned, Shamako, Dig are not connecting on many of them, but they're forcing movement.
Well, and the thing is, I mean, they're not demoing that much, but they are connecting even in the air sometimes. So they're going for the bumps, and
yes.
Just a slight bump in the air makes a world of change.
I mean, we saw it for the goal that the club got. Oh, he can force him out of position. Apparently, Jack will want to see that one again. Oh. Turns back around. Needs Scrub to move infield so he can be played into. Instead, Jorius back on the halfway line. Another demo. Who's going to get there first? Dignitas 2, the club 1.
Devolutions left, right, and center. It's going to be apparently Jack this time. And unfortunately for Astromic, he went for that early jump, expecting that fast shot from Jorias.
Yeah,
a big fat 0 on the boost.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bad measure. Like, he didn't get it right. Obviously. Now we got Scrub Killer on V2. That's what to say.
Okay, World Championship Scrub is here, everybody.
I'm loving it. I'm loving Dignitas now. We're starting to see them warm up mechanically, and they're one of the most exciting teams to watch when they are.
Stromic off the wall. 30 seconds for them to get this goal back. Otherwise, Dignitas will tie us up. 2 games each. Oh, what a hit! What a goal! Jorius with the brace! Brace for Jorius!
How do you defend that? I mean, is there any way? Because KV1 was on the air. He was, trying to get adjusted for anything that happened, but obviously not everything.
Do you know what you do to defend that? You put the controller down, you look over your monitor, and you clap and say, well played. That was outstanding.
And one to get them the 2-goal lead. We've seen the fight back and forth. Dignitas now want to tie it up.
And it looks like that should be enough. Dignitas putting the clock to nothing. A cheeky own goal to give Jorius another one. That will credit him with a hat trick. And this is the sort of game that really proves why everybody talks about Dignitas so much, why they've been one of the most almost frustrating teams, because you see games like this and you're like, why is this not all the time?
Also, a Stromic own goal there. We got to point that out. He was put under pressure by Jorias on those final seconds. And Dignitas, a real statement game here, 4-1.
Well, you can call it a statement game. I mean, but this doesn't win the series, okay? You're gonna keep moving forward. This is
He's got the copium out already, guys. They're handing it out of the stadium, left, right, and center.
And I said at the beginning of the series, I mean, this was an important match for the club because we have seen they win 2 matches, and after that, it seems like they turn down the volume, they turn down, you know, the power. I don't know, something is missing right now. So they were doing so good. The first few matches were so close, and now all of a sudden, 4-1.
It gets to that pivot point too here, where it's 2-2. The next one, whoever can wrest control, because it has been back and forth, could get themselves onto that next day.
Sorry, I'm looking at the crowd around here, and I'm not missing out on this opportunity, especially now that we hear a timeout has been called for the club. So I'm going to do a quick fan poll over in this one. If you think the club is going to take it, make some noise! I get the feeling this next one's going to be a little bit more quiet. If you think Dignitas is going to take it, let's hear ya! I was wrong.
Okay.
I was very wrong. Wow.
That shows just the fan power of Dignitas. Thank you, Dickies Arena. Thank you, Texas. And we get to find out.
That felt so good after 2 years.
Exactly. And this is EU being cheered on by the North American crowd for the first time. I really feel like it.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. I think it has just become a universal language. Hype is the universal language. And Rocket League will bring it in spades.
Well, then you must speak the universal language very well, Shogun.
I was ready for an insult on that one. You completely caught me off. Shamako, let's get you involved in this, because you've seen the club, you've seen how they go through. What do you expect them to change after this timeout has been called?
I think they're going to lock down on the defense a little bit more. I think that was the problem. They got a little bit overconfident. I was talking on the first few matches how much respect they were giving to Dignitas in the first few matches, and it seems like on the fourth one, it went out of the way. You know, like, okay, respect, what is that? So they got to lock down a little bit more on defense, try to go for those counterattacks again. But one thing I can tell you about these guys is that they always play like they have a chance. They never really quit. And I mean, they're young, but they have a fire, they have a spirit, and we're gonna see it on the next match.
I'd like to see them a bit more active in the defense as well. We're seeing them kind of stack the net, stack the backboard, and all of a sudden with the change up of direction we're seeing from Dignitas, it's giving them a lot more open chances.
Shamako, you mentioned earlier on how the club do like to counterpunch on occasion. But in order to do that, it seems like the club have been quite happy to leave somebody goal line. Dig have noticed that now. Dig are happy to send Jarius, Jack, Scrub, any of them. See if they can put a demo on, and that is not only leading to goal-scoring opportunities for Dignitas, but it's also disrupting the third-man rotation. It is harder to get rid of the ball when you are approaching from an angle that you didn't want to approach from.
And we get a few demos from the club right on this match, and maybe that's something they're gonna try. I mean, get the players out of the field, and maybe that way they will disrupt the defensive rotation and get something going.
Oh!
Fake.
Oh!
Oh
no! The post disagrees.
He'd read them so beautifully. The club, a fake in the air is very difficult. When it comes to communication on land, to pull that off. And that's the first real sign of life here, but it goes the other way. What a save by KD! Oh my God! How is that not a goal?
Don't ask me. I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. Those are the zero ping saves that you can do here in LAN.
That's the sort of plays that only happen in LAN. Apparently Jack taking over. Can he now provide? As Jarius wanted to find KV1, wasn't prepared for the pass. Scrub Killer wants to go the whole way. Seen a couple of the plays by himself. He's lost yet again. Player that they want to get the transitions, and you saw the respect that apparently Jack had. Did not want to launch forward, but the KV1 had to avoid being bumped. Scrub didn't really play that all too quickly. He's still on the chase. These bumps and demos have become crucial to both of these teams' game plans. The more in motion you are, the more offense you have, the more range of motion you have. That means you can keep up that sort of pace. Makes you less likely to be the one that's getting demoed and more likely for you to be the demo-e. And Dignitas and the club both aware of it, trying to keep that momentum.
And it's been Dignitas trying to keep up that pace as well, and have been doing a good job of still putting the club on the back foot.
They are. I mean, right now it's been all Dignitas. They have controlled the ball very, very well. Even with those demos, I mean, they haven't struggled too much. And every time there's a chance for the club to attack, it's only one attack. They haven't allowed like multiple attacks. They get the clear right away and then start building on it eventually.
Now, to be fair to the club, that one attack that they had was really fun to watch. We'll see whether or not they can put another one together. Dignitas have used the timeout that the club gave against them and have improved their own strategies. It's apparently Jack not the best first touch. Will he pay for it? KV1 back to his teammates.
Out of nowhere, sneaky. It looked like he was lost on the pitch, but no, he was in the net. He found a little gap. The club in the lead again.
Yeah, he was going for the bumps. I mean, he wasn't going for the goal. He wasn't going to score. And then when he found nothing to bump, he decided, well, the ball is here. I'm going to take it in. And that's it. I mean, and we have talked about how important those first goals have been in the series. Every time a team has a lead, they usually keep very tight to win. Except now, of course, because I opened my mouth.
The club are very good at keeping a lead, but we have seen what Jorius and Abjack could do with a little bit of space. KV1, he had to try and make a touch. He couldn't get the angle he wanted, so it went straight out to scrub.
Yeah, the most unfortunate thing there for KV1 is the fact that the ball was starting to come downwards. It's very difficult to keep the ball elevated after that. Go off the wall. KV1 looking to try and put it right. Hasn't got any support around, at least early enough. Here's the pinch, and a good one of that. Put some pressure on. Lost. Sees nobody on this left-hand side. Decides to go down it. So phenomenal is KV1. And Lost and Astromic, all of them just finding their angles to work with as there is a grouping of blue cars. KV1 has to cut rotation to buy his team some time.
Almost a triple commit on that one. And at least they communicated to each other. They didn't all go for the ball at the same time. Dignitas was not able to take a chance and get the clear right away. They have been doing it so well before, but on that one, on that situation, I don't know what happened to them. Maybe they didn't have enough boost, but they, at least they take control and nothing happened to Dignitas. Oh, the pass and the shot a little bit too wide. Couldn't get it for the club.
Great pre-jump from Lost. Another attempt, but maybe a bit of a misread.
And Dignitas, I'm impressed that they even saw that one because KV1 have, the club have not been going to the infield all that often. And yet still, Dignitas recognized the danger of it. Both teams happy to stick with the game plan. Apparently Jack bumped out of the air. Don't think he was quite expected to be the one that was sent. As Jorius back down to Jack. Is that going to cause a mistake? No, KV1, so much power to the half volley. That's how you do that.
Last minute here, Astromic, another infield. And the pass back again to Astromic. Astromic was not ready for that one. Couldn't get any power on it now. Gila taking the ball.
He also had Dignitas down his throat, and he had to really go for a quick pass. The club still maintains some pressure as Jorius is low on boost, but over the top of Astromic, the clears from Dignitas have been solid throughout this series.
Off the wall, Jorius misread it. Needs the support of Scrub Killer. Back to Jorius. Passed one, but that's an awkward bounce. One that always will favor the defense. Last few seconds. Bump, Scrub Killer moves in. Can he find the set? Astromi has to clear. It was a delayed attempt there by Jorius, but the touch was good enough. Apparently Jack sees the ball taken away. If for Scrub Killer, off the backboard, nobody can challenge. Apparently Jack could not finish it.
Inches away from securing match point, inches away from their dreams, but Dignitas, they have to do it in overtime now.
Is it the first overtime of the series? I think so. Watch it, watch it, watch it. It is in! Astromic getting the goal! The club now, for the first time against a top team in the EU, has a 3-2 lead.
Astromic, astronomical here.
Overtime for the club does not stand for overtime. OT stands for our time. The club, double match point. Dignitas need to win 2 in a row or they are out.
Wow. I mean, again, this is a team, the club, that should not have been here. They made it because Furia found a third spot for South America. Then they were all, being labeled as a third seed from Sam, will not pass wildcard. And they're fighting again here against Dignitas.
Thanks, King Khan. Thank you for giving us this.
Club making the most of their opportunity. I'm sure they've heard Furia this, Furia that. No, the club have come here to make their own statement, and what a statement they have made. And here's maybe a statement that should not surprise you. Dignitas have called their timeout. They've got 90 seconds now to talk about this, or Brazil is moving on.
A lot of people have been talking. A lot of the players have been talking, and every single one that I've heard has said the club are underrated, that the club are going to be absolutely massive. And they've broken that curse, that 2-game curse, where they couldn't finish out a series from there.
Right, underrated, not anymore. I think that's out of the way. And the way that the desk was talking about them, you know, we had, I think it was a 3-2 vote on the desk. The fans maybe still, you know, need to be educated a little bit more, but the guys from the club,
Right?
you know, say something. Can't, I'm right. Okay, so yeah, they are here right now. Now, we're talking about Dignitas. They have been in this spot way, you know, many times before. I know they're tired of people talking about how good they could be. They are here. They're gonna come and show how good they really can be. So this is the moment, the moment of truth for Dignitas.
I mean, for many people that aren't necessarily in the Rocket League sphere, Dignitas is one of 2 teams that will come to their forefront in their minds. Now they've got to prove it. The badge is with them, the history is with them, but they are against a team that cares not for history, is rewriting it for the club, who could be 1 game away from being 1 series away from top 8.
Their mental game, I think, has been questioned more than anything else, and we just saw Coach Nick on the mic. Hopefully can resurrect Dignitas from the ashes. Will they rise and get us to a Game 7?
We're 5 minutes away to see that. Let's see if the coach has the tools, has the skills to get these guys on top, or if the club will be too much for Dignitas.
Stromic chooses against taking the first-time shot, realized that if he got the angle wrong, would have put Dignitas straight on the counter-attack, a counter-attack that they've gone on anyway! Answer back from Dignitas!
Lost was lost on that one. He was lost. You were thinking about it. You were thinking about it.
No, I wasn't. I was looking at Jorius, but I was also looking at your disappointed face.
Well, he was way too upfront on that one. I mean, it was obvious that the ball was going over him. So I don't know what he was expecting, but still, I mean, an open net for Dignitas, they're gonna take it.
You got to give credit to Jorius,
Yes,
though.
yes.
He looked really awkward. He made a lot out of it because of his mechanics. They almost even find a second goal.
It sounds like a cliche. It kind of is a bit of a cliche, but the last game, especially in front of a crowd like this, is the most difficult one to get. And when you lose that opening goal, it takes the wind out of your sails a little bit more. The club needs to make sure that the bleeding doesn't continue. They can't afford to drop a second goal, especially not this early on. Scrub Killer almost finds the set, the club recognizing the danger. Jorius delays, now comes in. It is a bit of a double commit, but Jorius at least had his back turned. Drop out, KV1 loses the challenge. All of these challenges seem to be going sideways rather than anywhere down the field. Lost misses it, KV1 cleans up.
Of all the players to miss, of all the players to make a couple of mistakes in a row, it hasn't been Lost. Not at this land, not in the third split, not in the third regional where they almost took down Furia. He has been solid as a rock, and this is the first crack we've really seen.
And Charles was talking about, you know, getting that last game, winning that last match, and how hard it is. The club has not been in the Game 7 so far in the wildcard, so you don't really want to get there with all that pressure. You want to make this statement right now.
Good clear by Lost. Only as far as Scrub Killer. Off the ceiling. Can Scrub play it? Not far off, still a second touch. Might be able to get it over to Jorius. KV1 delays, also gets the bump. Stromic, he's on the break, runs out of boost. Still can try and play for the setup, especially after that miss. Where's the extra player? No, the club's sitting too far back.
Jorius looking for the clear as well. Dignitas, for the first time, stuck in defense and Lost. Gets the flip reset. It was a cheeky demo attempt, but Dignitas managed to survive.
Very good use of the flip reset from Lost. I mean, he could have gone all the way to front, but he was completely defended that way. So he went a little bit to the side. Obviously not going to make a goal right away, but keep control of the ball.
It's all about playing the position. Stromic can't find the ball, at least finds the car, and hey, a little bit of duality. Lost time on the ball. This is pretty good for Lost as we get another one. This is where you want to see him as well. Bit of time to play. There's another one. Might as well go straight to Jorius. Almost got him as well. Forced Jorius to jump. I think the crowd liked that.
I've not seen anything like that before. Stromic going beast mode. And now it's being returned. Scrub Killer. Abjack's looking for one as well. Lost.
I love it.
That's 7 demos in the matter of 30 seconds.
I completely love it. This is like, okay, the club can play demos. We can do the same thing. Dignitas right now, they were really trying hard, you know, to get those demos, and it worked. I don't know if it's gonna do anything for the game, but it was fun to watch.
I feel like we've just heard the birth of a new Rocket League chant. Every single time that we see a demo, just the crowd goes mental for it. Here is Lost. Going as far as apparently Jack. Good block. KV1 pops the ball up high. Demo on one. Jorius bumped out the way! 1-1!
At the end, demos really worked. I mean, you were doing it for fun until it wasn't fun anymore, right? And you get the bump on Jorius as well. Oh, that was a beautiful play by the club, and now tied match, 91 seconds left.
The club more like the Warriors. How are they finding these bumps? Dignitas getting caught flat-footed again, and KV1!
Just did not land for Lost. 80 seconds. Lost wants to take on 2. Lost in the wildcard was always capable of taking on 2. Minute and 15. Scrub Killer, good challenge from him. First one in is Lost. More bumps being attempted. It's over, Jack!
And the crowd, I mean, goes wild on that one. You were just saying, Lost in the wildcard. No problem taking on 2, maybe even 3 on that play, and now getting the lead.
It doesn't matter if you're 3 of the best 1v1 players in the world, because when 3 of you connect in the same spot, they cross each other's paths. The club looking for the series win.
1 minute away from wildcard to top 12! Off the crossbar! Lost looks to move in. Chooses not to take the shot. That's so incredibly disciplined by the club, knowing that they cannot afford to get caught in the counter-attack. They know Dignitas will bite their arm off if they give them a slight opportunity. KV1! 2-goal lead!
How good were they contesting that ball every single time? You know, a good 50, and then Lost just sends the ball right away to the net, and KV1 is over there to speed it up a little bit. 3-1, 38 seconds. Dignitas need a miracle right now.
If you needed a favorite player, and if you're from South America, it might just be Lost. Now it's KV1 keeping them out as well. A 2-goal lead. The club looking to make history for Sam.
Apparently Jack turns to Jory.
Good pass. Oh, baby!
Off the post. 20 seconds left. Dignitas keep the pressure on. They need something off this play, but Scrub Killer not in position. 15 seconds on the clock.
They don't have the time.
It is impossible. It is impossible right now. The club is going to win this. Crowd knows it, and the guys from the Dignitas trying to do anything, but it's not possible. Lost will put it on the net just for fun, and now the club wins this match.
South America, stand up. The club move on. Dignitas are out.
The club were not here before the World Championship at London. Furia had to send them all the way here, and now they've sent themselves to Saturday, one step away from Championship Sunday as the number 3 seed from Sam Chamaco. I can see you.
He's just waiting for the camera. He's just waiting for it.
Very good.
They look exhausted. I don't blame them whatsoever. And guess what? They do it again tomorrow.
They do it again tomorrow against Furia, and that's gonna be like, I don't know what to do. I mean, I was thinking about this moment before, and it's like, it's so likely, but at the same time, what if it happens? It's gonna be amazing, but at the same time, heartbreaking. I can take it.
And that is just the perfect way to go this World Championship, because between Furia and the club, they went to 3 Game 7s in their final regional. Furia got them here, and now, unfortunately, one of them has to be knocked out.
And it guarantees at least, well, one South American team is making it into top 8.
Beautiful.
Very well deserved for a region that really made the world take notice throughout the season. From an interesting sideshow to a real contender, Chamaco, how proud are you of your boys?
Can't be any more proud. I mean, and I haven't done any of the work. It's all of them. It's them, you know, just being so good, so passionate about it. You know, this time doing the homework, doing really the homework, like going for the replays, getting their coaches, listening to them, improving on their defense, you know, taking note of everything that everyone has said about the region for so long, like, oh, you guys don't defend, you guys don't have a very good offense, you do only mechanics, that's it. Well, they have taken note, and they are here now for real.
You think about Season 7 when Sam entered for the first time, didn't get a series win, didn't get a game win. They go into Season 8, they finally get that first series win on the board, and then, as we know, everything shut down. They didn't get the chance to prove themselves. First time back, and Sam have well beyond proven themselves.
It's one thing though we basically test you at all levels for our new format. We test you online, we tested you at a smaller crowd, sometimes even no crowd if we go back to the early stages of London, maybe even the start of LA, all of fall. But there's nothing that prepares you for taking that walk, going on that stage and playing in front of a crowd like this. That is a make or break moment in every single player's career. They did it. They made it.
They made it. They made it. They are here now. And for anyone that is doubting them still to go against Furia and thinking, well, they're the 3rd seed, remember what Yomi just said. They went to 3 Game 7s and all of, you know, in the same regional, and 10 overtimes. It was 10 overtimes in between Furia and the club.
Well, the moment I've been waiting for. Let's head down to the stadium where Joel has the interview with the club.
Thank you so much, Yummy. Dickies, please give it up for KV1 and the club. Now, we have the first series done here in the main arena. How did that feel? Walk us through that game.
Primeira série aqui nessa arena lotada, como está se sentindo?
Eu acredito que seja o sonho de todo mundo, né, tá aqui e ainda mais conseguir uma vitória. A gente sempre lutou por isso e tenho certeza que esse é o melhor sentimento que eu já senti na minha vida.
It's a dream to be here. I'm sure this is a dream for every single player, so this is an incredible moment.
Now, you guys did have a timeout. What was said during the timeout? Anything specific?
No timeout, o que rolou com vocês ali? O que vocês falaram?
Tipo, acho que foi mais pra gente se ajeitar mesmo e, tipo, a gente voltar no eixo e conseguir, tipo, trazer essa vitória realmente. Porque a gente tava meio desordenado, né? Aí com esse timeout a gente conseguiu dar uma respirada e voltou ao foco.
Things were a little bit messy in the beginning, so with the timeout, we just got organized, we talked about things, and fixed everything.
Was there any point in the match that you felt like, this is yours, you got this? Was there any point in the match where he thought, it's over, we have this one, we've won?
Teve algum momento nessa partida que você falou, já era, isso é nosso?
Como assim, pra perder?
Não, pra vocês ganharem.
Acredito que depois da save que eu fiz, tipo, acho que quando tava 3-1, alguém chutou e eu consegui defender. Naquele momento, meu coração, tipo, pulou e falou assim, será? Aí, naquele momento, eu comecei a acreditar que a gente tinha ganhado.
When it was 3-1 and we got an incredible save, I knew that was it. We were gonna win. There was no way.
Dickies, please give it up one last time here for KV1 and for the club. Our first series of the day complete. Now, next up, we got K-Corp versus Optic.